Man, talk about that though, man. When y'all actually when that dope house thing really started coming together, man, and y'all moving them units over there, and I mean he's just blowing up. Everybody's just doing their thing, and y'all got Happy Perez over there, and I mean y'all really had a whole squad.
Well, Carlos, the way that he was, the way that he is, he show you love like a real brother. You understand what I'm saying? But I was always just kind of like, hey, we gotta get this done. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. And he like, I got this. You know what I mean? But that showed him that I wasn't like just trying to be ride the bandwagon. But the company was just still beginning though. You understand what I'm saying? But he know I was a worker. So then came, Low G. I think Gotti came later. Then we hooked up with Bash. And then everything fell in place. But Carlos, it was really him, the mastermind of keeping everything consistent. Mostly his music, but he always included us.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Check it out, man. It's your boy Rasheed, aka Sheedy Gonzalez. Right now, you're tuned into the homie Donnie Houston, the Donnie Houston Show. Make sure you stay tuned in and watch all the content that come out.
Yeah, man, it's going down this Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. Today's guest has been putting it down since the 90s, man. Originally from the East Coast, made his way down here in this H, man, and hooked up with some legends, man. Most notably with SPM and the Dope House crew, man. Dope House Records. Rasheed, what's going down, man?
What's going on, Mr. Houston? You good?
I'm good, man. It's an honor to have you here, man.
Shit, I'm honored to be here. I've been watching your work, so
man, appreciate it.
Definitely glad to be here.
Appreciate it, man. What's new with you, man?
Oh man, no, it's just a lot going on, man. I wouldn't know, I don't know where to start. You got the music, you got the regular life. Where you want me to start at?
Let's start musically with you.
Oh, so right now, musically, just to start right now, I just dropped the project with Lil Young. He got a little thing going where he been producing for the OGs or whatever, and so he offered me to do an album for me, and so I was the first guinea pig. And as you can see, he produced the album for ESG as well, which I'm a part of that. So that's already out, but I have my next EP, which is already about to drop, called Young Bull, Old Bull. And when I say old bull, it's OLE, not OLD. You know what I'm saying? Young Bull, Old Bull. You know what I'm saying? So as far as music, that's what I got going. I just dropped a remix to the Mexican OT song. I did a little freestyle to it. It's pretty hot on the street. So,
yeah.
Man,
what do you think about guys like Mexican OT when you see, being down with the guy who really, when you talk about for Mexican rappers, like really took it there,
Well,
And now you see a guy like Mexican OT come around and, he's doing it big, you know what I mean, representing for that same culture,
Right. Yeah, I respect it. I love
it.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, I watched them grow, through Tex, my boy Tex.
Tex, yeah.
So, so I watched them grow. I haven't really had a chance to work with them or nothing like that, but I like it. I love it.
Yeah, man. Personally, you said where to start. We was gonna go musical. Personally, where you at, man? How's everything going? Just in life.
Personal life.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, man. I got a 3-year-old daughter. I've been taking care of in Corpus Christi. So,
okay.
So definitely slowed down a little bit as far as movement and stuff like that. But when you get to my age, or I guess my level of maturity, you just appreciate every breath. So, regardless of which situation I'm in at this point, I just had to say, hey, we blessed. You know what I mean? Even though we go through stuff every day,
right.
You know what I mean? Going through stuff right now, but, so everything's cool, man. Taking care of my daughter in Corpus and being consistent, with dropping the music because of what I love to do.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Tell me, Let's go back, because I know you weren't originally from Houston. Talk about, was it Philly where you were originally from?
Philadelphia, East Coast, Nice Town, Grad Street. That's my original city I'm from. And I always represented, even though most of my majority of life I've been here in Texas, but I gotta throw my roots in there. You know what I mean? And so that would be Nice Town, which is North Philadelphia, the street, Grad Street. I did a lot of stuff there before I even, came out here, as a teen, like crazy stuff. So
What kind of stuff were you getting into, growing up out there?
well, not to glorify it, but the average stuff, we was, trying to make a little money, selling stuff, I'm say stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Philly, I don't know if y'all know the history of Philly, but Philly is a very high murder capital city, Pennsylvania, the state, and I was running around doing crazy stuff. Fortunately, I made it out of that situation, even though I came to Texas and still went to the penitentiary. But but Philly, I'm glad to be able to move and still have my life. You know what I mean? Which majority of my family's still there. But that was basically it, man. I wasn't doing music when I was in Philly. I was, just wild, young, crazy.
So you come to Texas. What brought you to Texas?
My dad, my pops, R.I.P. Brother Latif. Some people know him, Alfonso Sally. He had a school called Girls and Boys Preparatory Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my dad.
No, your dad is the one who started Boys and Girls Prep?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Brother Latif. So
wow.
Yeah, he he was down here, and so I just said, let me go try something different. So I start going back and forth. But
so wait, you out there wilding, your dad out here doing this amazing thing with your school. How these things even coexist?
Well, this was the school thing was years way after this. When my dad was here, he full Islamic, and so he was running the mosque and stuff like that, and we was working. He was independent. He used to sell clothes in South Park off of Rice. I think it's South Rice. It's a grocery store over there, and that's what he would do when I came down. He was selling clothes, buying from Harvard, flipping clothes, and years later the school thing came. But that was basically, he was just here surviving, hustling. That's where I got my hustle from, because I learned it from him. And that was it. He just was surviving. But he was straight laced though. He wasn't doing nothing like clean. Like I'd never seen a man that didn't drink a beer, smoke a joint, do it. You know what I mean? And so I was proud of my pops for that. But that's why I came.
So you get here, and what side of town you go to? So you go to South Park?
So every day we working in South Park. But we had an apartment on the Southwest.
Okay.
So we between South Park and Southwest. When I say Southwest, that's
Fondren.
Well, at the time, yes, Fondren. We stayed at the medical center. We stayed off Bel Air, where I went to jail in there. So
wait, when'd you go to jail?
I went to jail in 1990.
So you were how old at this age?
Still
rather young.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say early 20s because I caught my felony at 17. I caught my felony.
Oh, so this is before you go to jail in Bel Air. You get the felony charge.
No. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, let me get my math right. So I came off parole in 96. So I went to jail in 1990. So it's about a 6-year run. So yeah.
So you go to, okay, but what year do you actually move out here?
Oh, I moved out here, man. Let me see.
It's in the 80s, gotta be.
It's in the 80s, man, but I went back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I came down, got the experience with my pops. Like, all right, pops, I'm gonna go back to Philly. Went back to Philly. It's like, you know what? I'm going back to Texas. And so then when I came back to Texas, I was straight, but I still got in trouble and went to jail. Birthday, I went to jail for a robbery, which was stupid, but
What were you trying to come up out for?
It was stupid, man. I went I went to the Fiesta. First off, it's my birthday. I'm drunk, but I'm an aggravated 17-year-old young man, why?
You got it on your chest, yeah.
Yeah. And so back in the days, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Blue Bull, but it was a 40 ounce called Blue Bull. So I drank a half a Blue Bull. Go, it's my birthday. Okay. So, and I'm not an alcohol guy, it fucks me up. So my pop said, hey, I need you to go get your son some ginseng from the store.
Oh, you had already had a kid.
No. But my bad. My brother. It was his son, my little brother. He said, hey, go get your brother some ginseng from the store, which is a thing that cleans you out or whatever. So I was like, all right, I got you. I'll go get it. Boom. But I'm drunk, So I go to the store And I go to the manager. I say, hey, sir, I'm looking for some ginseng. He said, what? So he got crunk at me. I got crunk at him. I say, ginseng, you ain't never heard of ginseng. It's like, no, I ain't never heard of it. So, boom, I'm walking around. Of course, they following me. So finally, I find it. I take it. I'm standing in line. I say, you know what, man? This shit, I'm out of here. And so I tried to walk out with it. Cop stopped me, and we had a little fight. That motherfucker took that nightstick, put that hole on my neck. I said, okay, I give up. So long story short, that stupid case lasted me 8 years. I ended up going probation, violate probation, going to the penitentiary.
What were you doing violating? No, how were you violating?
Man, I wouldn't stop smoking weed, man. You ain't gonna stop no 17-year-old from smoking no weed, and being responsible. 17, I have a 17-year-old not responsible, and so I mean, I'm not paying that money.
Because they hit you with the 8, but they was gonna let you make it on probation, which you violated.
I had probation.
Yeah.
But I didn't care about it. Like, fuck it. And so when I went back down for the violation, not reporting, about 2-year run, that's when I ran into Lil Troy. About a 2-year run, I went back down.
So what year did you run into Lil Troy?
So Troy was gonna be 1992.
Oh.
92. And that was and so the way that happened was,
this is when he come home.
Well, Troy, yes, because he been down a couple of times. So that's when he came home from his first bid, which I didn't really know nothing about him. My second day out of jail, hand to God, I'm in the neighborhood on the southwest side. My daddy had got him a nice house and all that. And so I'm walking through the neighborhood, and the constable ride by. So I'm like, man, I ain't got no record. I'm fresh out of jail. So I look at the constable. He looked back at me. So I keep walking. Next thing I know, he pulled right. He said, hey, man, what you doing? I said, man, I just got whatever. All right, go ahead about your business. Don't be looking at it. All right. So I get a few blocks. My dad had a store off Fondren and Belford. Boom, I get to the store. They come 4 deep. Freeze that. So what happened was somebody was writing fake checks in my name. They had been writing fake checks for years. The whole time I was in jail, the first time, I was going to different little counties for checks people was writing. It was bad, man. But this worked in my favor this time because a check came up. And so they locked me up second day out of jail. And that's how I met a guy named MRC who introduced me to Grim Bruce Rhodes.
Producer.
The producer, yes. And Bruce was impressed, and so he took me to Troy, and so that's how I met Lil Troy.
So did you sign a shortstop, or what happens with you?
I did. I mean,
did he have Mass 187 and all them at the time?
That was after.
Okay.
That was after. So I went to jail and got out, and then he had Mass 187. Shout out to them boys, Bub and all them boys. Yeah, Mass 187.
Damn, so 92 Lil Troy. Okay, so what do y'all do at shortstop? You record anything or what?
So at shortstop, we dropped our first EP, Living in the Ghetto. I'm living up in the ghetto. I'm living up in the ghetto. And around that time, I was living in South Park with Lil Troy. So I seen, I would see all of the greats, screwed up clicks and all that, but I was a, nappy head, wild East Coast dude. So, I guess I just wasn't really, they type of tea to hang around, but we dropped Living in the Ghetto. And so Living in the Ghetto came out EP. It did good. I mean, at the time selling CDs, we traveled. We went all over the South, Louisiana, Atlanta. We went to a few places, Jack the Rappers, during that run, but I was still on parole. And so I violated parole again. So when I violate parole again, we fly to Miami. I fly back and I go to jail out of his mom's apartment.
They get you for violation, or you did something?
Violation.
Okay, they come pick you up.
I didn't do no new crime, and so they take me out of jail in his mom's apartment. But before they got me, we dropped another record called "Funk Is in the Air," and I don't think it made it out. But that was the extent of my relationship with Troy until "Wanna Be a Baller" came out. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get that because that's 98. We're gonna get there. Okay, but then you got to go sit down though.
I sat down for about 11 months. Yes. Yes. And so at this time, just some footprints. This when Ted Polk was in office.
Oh.
And so when I went and sat down, I had a 4-year sentence. And so it's my first time really doing time. So, you know, I'm hurt, my heart broken. They're going to be mashing your guy. They're going to be knocking it down. But Ted Poe was throwing quarters and dice. And these young dudes coming in there with 70, 60, 50. And I'm like, I got 4 years. I better shut the you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah.
Man, okay. So you say you do 11 months on that?
About 11 months. About 11 months. They put me in a program called SAPE, where it's like a drug rehabilitation program. They send you to the penitentiary, but you're doing this program. But you're still there with all the murderers, killers, you still interacting with, all the people. But if you successfully succeed the program, you get your ass out of it.
So how you get into the program? What you told me you had a habit, or you was fucking around back then?
The weed. I was always coming out dirty, but the government always coming up with new programs. You know what I'm saying? So I guess
I can take this program.
Timing, hell yeah. 6 months, you gotta. It's the program 6 months, but you got to get shipped off. So you might be 3 months shipped off, wait 4 months. So in my case, I ended up like 5 months in Harris County, and then 6 months in the program.
Oh shit!
And I made it out that hole too, 2 times though. Yeah.
You had to go twice?
Yes.
This is all within this same situation?
Yeah, same case. Same case carried me for 8 years, bro. Same case. All cause dumbass probation. And ignorance, I know this don't got nothing to do with the music or nothing, but ignorance is not a good thing because, had I had knowledge and knew the law, I could have got the case dropped to something misdemeanor in a few months. But, me being a young kid, not knowing, and my dad, like, hey, you got to be responsible for your own stuff. You deal with it. Okay, I'll take probation. And yes, 8 years it carried me. Violate probation, violate parole, get out, violate parole again. Boom.
Damn. So okay, when do you finally get done with all that? Like what, 90 what?
I'm glad you said that. 1996.
Okay, 96. Okay.
1996. The reason why I came off parole that day, and Carlos SPM had a show at Drumsticks, Street Military, and that night, I said, I'm going to go smoke some dip.
Oh, you got on that fry?
Yeah, I was celebrating.
This the first time?
No. I've done it before.
Okay.
That's not my cup of tea. But this particular night. And so, I can't say the other person, but me, the other individual was an artist, and another guy went and smoked it, and we came back. And I learned a very valuable lesson this night. So me and the other person, then the other guy, I forgot who it was, going in the club. As we going in, the security guard, he kind of like, hey, hold up. And so he kind of put his hand on the other guy. The other guy said, what? You don't know me? And even though I'm intoxicated, I still got common sense. So I'm like, damn. And the rap game, wasn't really just like crunk like it was for us. We had fans and stuff, but it taught me about ego. Because the security dude just didn't know who this guy was, even though I know who he was. He got a name and all. And so I learned a lesson from that. It's like, we have to humble ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to let that ego, kind of, you know what I mean? I understand as an artist and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you got to humble yourself. So I learned that night because, to make a long story short, that same individual also said some words that caused him to get knocked out in front of the club. Yeah. So if the story come out, somebody hear it, they might remember it. Hey, I ain't say no names.
Yeah. Man, okay.
But 96, that's when I came off parole.
Man, okay. So you said that's when you met SPM.
Well, I met SPM in 95. 94, 95. Because of my boy Hook. So Troy wasn't really rocking with me that much. We was cool, but he was working with Mass 187. So, I was broke riding the bus back and forth, trying to go hang out and keep up with the Joneses. But my boy, Adrian Savoy, AKA Agent Hook, he was running around the circuit. Every time I had got somebody to work with, he'd take me to him. He's like my manager. But he was wild. Much love, Hook. So, but long story short, he come around and say, hey, you heard the South Park Mexican? He had the tape. No, South Park Mexican, bro. What is that? Get out of here. And he came back a second time. He said, hey, man, check out this screwed up South Park Mexican. I said, look, man, I don't want to hear that shit. Get off of my face. You know, seriously. And so the third time he just picked me up and he drove me straight to Carlos's RV in Hillwood. And I ain't know where he was taking me. And so we sat there and he rapped his written raps and I freestyled. And it was like a 3-4 hour session. And we just went hard, 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 hard. And he said something about it when Devil Strike, talking about, oh yeah, I thought I saw the devil when I seen Rasheed rap. I'm like, man, I don't know to take that a compliment or a good thing. But, but long story short, that's how that happened. And that was between 94 and 95. And I was still hanging with Troy and still, dealing with parole and shit like that.
So when do you actually go back and go link up with him like officially?
Carlos?
Yeah.
I never from them I never
for that
left.
day? Oh yeah, never.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just kind of, me and Troy was still cool, but
Just kind of in between that.
yeah, man. I just maintain relationships and try not to burn no bridges. And Carlos and I, we maintained a good working relationship. You know what I mean? We stayed busy. And I never really, separated from him. You know what I'm saying? Even now.
Yeah. Man, talk about that though, man. When y'all actually when that dope house thing really started coming together, man, and y'all moving them units over there, and I mean he's just blowing up, everybody just doing their thing, and y'all got Happy Perez over there, and I mean y'all really had a whole squad.
Well, 95 is I think when I say established dope house. And so I, met him, like I said, around 95. His family had a business, okay? And which I won't get in too much detail, but if you've been to the dope house at Center Street, which a lot of y'all probably watching this have, they had a warehouse. They did distribution. So he had all of the right elements. As far as us, me, myself, I just had a crazy work ethic. Of course, my rapping, at the time I thought was just, the shit. And but I wasn't trying to be a writer. I'm trying to be a get it worker. In other words, I wasn't trying to be up under him. Even though Carlos, the way that he was, the way that he is, he show you love like a real brother. You understand what I'm saying? But I was always just kind of like, hey, gotta get this done. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. And he like, I got this. You know what I mean? But that showed him that, I wasn't like just trying to be a, ride the bandwagon. But the company was just still beginning though. You understand what I'm saying? But he know I was a worker. So then came, Low G, which he knew Low G in them before he started rapping. And then I think Gotti came later. Then we hooked up with Bash, which was a great thing. Bash and I think it was El Paso or New Mexico with Kid Frost, which he might have mentioned that to you in the story. Bash came. And then everything fell in place. But Carlos, it was really him, the mastermind of keeping everything consistent. Mostly his music, but he always included us. Mostly on the CDs, he always included us. So thanks to him, it was a great movement, great time.
Yeah, man. How did things change? When he ended up getting a situation and all that. And did y'all see that coming, or was it kind of out of nowhere?
Well, did I see it coming? I can't say that I seen it coming. How did things change? Life is weird because, of course, him himself gonna always blow up and excel. But if you from the outside looking in, let's take a look. Look at Lucky right now, running a business of whatever he doing with the insurance. But before that, constantly dropping music, probably one of the top selling artists at Dope House just after Carlos went to jail. Look at Bash, blew up, Sugar. Wine Gotti, he to me, he actually, excelled a lot. So even though he was gone, I still feel like everybody had their good momentum. You know what I mean? And so a lot did change. It was rough, but everybody just stayed focused and stayed working. But of course, there's always the analogy of, oh, if Carlos was out here, it'd be like this. And of course, yeah, but I feel like things changed, but I feel like everybody kind of, did their thing.
Yeah. Man, what's some of your favorite times from that era though, when y'all really had that run, man? That late 90s, early 2000 run.
Man, I mean, it's hard to say, man, because you had the After Hours Club AM, we had Club Hustle Town, T-Town was open, Coco Loco. It was a club open on Tuesday. Every night, it was a club that you could go to and party and get crunk. So to sum that up, I would have to say those are my favorite times when all of the clubs is open. And that's on the south side. I ain't even talking about the north side, the Palladiums and all that, and that's kind of a little bit before our era. But this Magic. No, what's that club on the north side? It's Mr. A's, the Jamaican boy Owen over there, Jamaica. No, that wasn't Jamaica. The one across the street from the school. But anyway, Caravana. So it's just a lot of clubs, and you ain't really have to worry about all of the shooting, even though it'd be a fight here and there, but it just wasn't as bad back then, But I'm not a living the past type of guy, but I would have to say those was some of the best times,
Yeah, man. Cause people tell the best stories about this, man. You said you hit that fry when you came out. Did you ever stick with that, or that was just like a one time thing? That was just a celebratory.
It wasn't a one time thing, but I'll tell you a story. Okay, me, Speedy. Shouts out Speedy Will, my brother from another mother. He from South Park, this Lil Troy cousin, and Mr. Fingers. Mr. Fingers was on my first CD with Troy. We had a song called Mr. Fingers. Mr. Fingers, I got a couple of problems. I need you. And so, Chris Fingers, he was hard. Like he was a real street dude. Anyway, Fry was his thing. So, man, we smoked that one day in the village, South Park Village, before they opened up the 12,000 Martin Luther King, when it was a dead end. I was there when it was a dead end. I was out there when KK was out there. I was out there with Black. I was out there with Baldhead, all the homies. But which, I would like to get into that later. But we hit it and we racked on the balcony in the rain for like 4 or 5 hours. No music. Walking by. So
rain coming down, nobody doing
rain
no trip.
coming down, yeah. But anyway, that was a crazy experience. I think one time Troy got mad at us. All right, so I'm gonna tell this. We had a show with Big Mello, North Side, and this when I was first coming out. So I do my show, my boy Speedy and Fingers, they already in the restaurant. Boom, cool. I do the show. The people don't really. I'm not Big Mello. You understand what I'm saying? Big Mello's a boss. R.I.P. Big Mello. Much love, Big Mello. So you can't expect to go before Big Mello and get the crowd crunk. At least me, anyway. So long story short, went to the bathroom. They was already hitting it. Boom, hit it. Boom, come back out. Big Mello got the crowd crunk. So Troy was kind of like upset, like they ain't get crunk for us. So on the way back. Well, before we left out the land, my boy Fingers, he just went off. He said, man, what's going on? We're trying to... And we like, damn, what's up with you, bro? You good? He just start tripping. So we get him out to John. My boy hit it. My boy, we get to the car. He like this the whole time on the grass. and then my other boy, he finally just grabbed his... We all had shortstop jackets and shortstop shirts. Small grabbed the shortstop jacket. Like I say, me when I get high, bro, I'm a mind control guy. I'm not gonna make myself look stupid. So I'm just watching everything unfold. But this is experience.
That fry era in the H, man, was something else, man.
I can't do it.
That was something else.
Some people still smoking, but more power to you.
Man, talk about, you say you want to talk about the dead end, man. Talk about that though, man. Coming up with the dead end.
Oh man, much love to the dead end, man. And the people that show love to me out there, man. KK, Baldhead, Speedy, of course Troy. It's not a lot of names that I can remember. I would have to say and thank, but the dead end was cool. I was just nappy head running around rapping in the village. I wasn't really business minded. You know what I mean? I just think about rapping, but at that time everybody was getting money. You know what I'm saying? Which however they was doing, they was getting money. And so, of course, me, I wanted money too, but the rap was, you know what I mean, more, it's like I wasn't at a state where I understood, well, you got to do business first, then the rap. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, everybody being a rapper, they're like, oh, I can rap. You the investor and the rapper. But everybody was out there getting money. So I just run around, rapping, freestyling. But it was a good time, even though I went out jail out of there, much love to Wicked Cricket, I was telling Young earlier how when I was wanted from the cops, he hid me in his apartment one time. And every time he see me after that, he's like, boy, remember I hid you from the police? Yeah, man, much love, Wicked Cricket. So Village was cool, man. South Park Village was cool, man. Much love, bro. Like, a lot of good artists came out of there, yeah, it's cool.
Man, talk about, because I mean, with the SPM affiliation, you've been able to really tap into that Hispanic community, you even rapping Spanish, you know what I'm saying? Like, just talk about that whole thing, man.
Okay, so a lot of people wonder why and ask for that. So, is you Mexican? What you trying to? And I do consider myself as a misunderstood individual because why are you doing this? So when I was in the jail in the county, the boss man doing count, and he say, James here, Flores here, Santiago, Akimedo boss. I said, what did he say? I said, damn, I need to learn that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what kind of set it off for me, was just breaking the barrier of something that I didn't know. Even though before I went to jail, I had plenty of Hispanic friends and stuff like that. But when I went to jail, it just, opened something different. And just a footnote, like, it'll be tough for me to go back to jail now with all of the politics that they have going. I wouldn't know what to do. I'm like, I'm not, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much partly how that happened. But far as tapping in with Carlos, well, I just wanted to do something different. You understand what I'm saying? Even though I've always been a leader and independent, but when I seen his movement, which I kind of started with him with the movement, because he was a few months into the company, I felt like, hey, this is what I want to be a part of. And so that's kind of how that happened, even though before the music, it was already something in me, that just connect, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how to sum that up.
Yeah. Well, man, it's 2024. Like you said, you got new music coming. What else you got, to look forward to, man?
Well, we've been working on the movies, man. Me and Lil Young, he's a writer of a couple films. And so what we did was we dropped a film called The First of the Month, Stoner's film. So we dropped it a few years ago. And so since then, he worked on another film called Gun Talk. And he got some great actors in it. So besides the film stuff, the film stuff is really the main thing next to the music that we're about to do, and not really, like I said, the movie's already out, but we're about to be dropping on Tubi. You know what I mean? And, Young got more details than that, but that's probably the next biggest thing is the movie thing.
Last thing before we get up out of here, do you remember when Bun came and did that interview with y'all at the thing? You did the freestyle night?
Yeah.
You remember that day?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I forgot to do the producer name. It's a producer. And so I knew him before this even happened, but Bun really came to interview Carlos, and I kind of, stepped in and, did my thing. But that was a great moment for me because, a lot of people, remind me of that. Remember you was on BET, put the rubber band in your head. And to me, I look back at it, it's cringe for me because I'm like, I don't even rap like that no more. You know what I'm saying? But I remember. Shouts out to Bun B, man. You know what I'm saying? Much love to Bun coming through and doing that,
For sure. Well, man, you want to give your social media and all that, man, before we close up?
Yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram at Rasheed 21st Century. Hit me on YouTube at 21st Century TV. Hit me on my Snapchat at Rasheed713. Hit me on my TikTok at Rasheed Dope House OG. And Facebook, which is my real name, Alfonso Cook. You're going to find the government. You know what I mean?
And that is, man. Hey, Rasheed Alfonso Cook on Facebook. Rasheed, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow him, tap in what he got going on, the music, the movies, all that. And hey, man, we're up out here.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Oh yeah.